Hello, we are
Hi,
back. I am Poch,
and I am Gabe.
and welcome to the Difficult Lemon Difficult podcast. It is our 13th episode.
No, no,
Oh, 11th.
no, it's our 10th.
Oh,
Happy
happy
10.
10.
We made it to 10.
It's a tenner. It's a dime.
It's a 10 peso coin. What do you call that? A 10 peso coin.
Yeah, currency.
It's a
It's
10.
10. Yeah. So, before anything else, Gabe,
Oh, yeah, before anything else, if you're watching us, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell for YouTube. And on Spotify, if you're listening to us, please don't forget to, I think it's also called like. You like the episode, you can download it, you can follow us, rate us 5 stars, and wherever you are, share. Don't forget to
yeah,
share.
please share. Please share the
Us on
episode
our on your social media. Tell your friends about
and your mom.
and your dad
Just
and
tell, just
your
tell people,
siblings and
honestly.
your cousins.
Yeah.
Just tell them that you have been enjoying this
Show.
fun show.
Educational show.
Sometimes educational,
Mostly educational to
mostly
ourselves. But anyway,
yeah,
yes,
whatever.
please do everything she told you to do and share it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So today is a Reddit day.
Hooray.
Hooray. We will be going through some subreddits. In our last episode we went through one. I think it was the
ABYG.
ABYG, or in non-abbreviated it's
Ako
Ako ba yung gago? Sorry, I'm just making sure we're recording. Ako ba yung gago, which is basically am I the asshole in Tagalog.
Mhm.
So today we're gonna be reacting to different posts on different Filipino subreddits that we've come across.
Yeah, this is also our way of keeping in touch with what's happening in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
or in general, just like
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's happening in not our own spheres.
Circles.
Yeah, circles. Yeah,
Sphere.
sphere of influence circle. I don't know.
Anyway, so are you ready? We can start.
Yeah, we can start. Okay, we
Okay,
have one
we
lined
can
up.
start with this post from the subreddit Relationship Advice PH.
Shout out to that subreddit.
So, my boyfriend, 22M of 3 years, does not flex me, 21F, on any of his social media accounts nor introduced me to his friends. Me and my boyfriend have been with each other for 3 years, but he has never once introduced me to his friends. Meanwhile, he attempted to introduce someone, his previous lover, whom he had only met for 2 weeks, to them. He has also never put my photo on his story nor post me on his social media accounts. I feel insecure and it is weighing me down because I've asked him multiple times, and asking about it just makes me feel bad because I don't want him to introduce me to his friends and do these things just because I feel saddened by it. Any similar experiences? What should I do? What could be the reason behind it? I am desperate for advice, lol. This might not be a big deal for some, but it actually hurts me, haha. I post him on my stories, yet he has never once reciprocated the energy. Interesting.
Maybe you're ugly. No,
Wow.
that's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh
I said maybe.
my god. Anything's
It's a joke.
possible.
No, that was a joke.
Anything's possible.
I guess this day and age, like a lot of people want to gauge your interest in them through social media. I mean, back then, I think the equivalent of this a few years or years ago was why don't you have a picture of me in your wallet?
Okay,
Something like that,
that's true. But I feel like they've been together for 3 years. Like, this is not one of those, oh, we've been talking to each other and, casually going out to dinners for 6 weeks now. How come he's never posted me? They've been together for 3 years.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
So for you, what's your advice for the
No, let's answer her
original
questions.
poster?
Any similar experiences? Personally, no. I just no because
You're welcome.
uh,
You're welcome, buddy.
I can't shake your hand. Okay, here. Thank
We
you.
for the audio listener, we are
We're
shaking
shaking
hands.
And
Anyway,
I'm thanking him because no similar experience. What should you do? Um Wait, does it say that she already asked him? Why?
No.
I think you should ask why. Like straight up ask. Because I wouldn't say mm, I think it's kind of I think it's pretty concerning because
Yeah.
you could say that this guy just doesn't like sharing on social media. Okay, fine. A lot of people do that. But for him not to introduce you to his friends, it almost seems like he's trying to keep you a secret.
Maybe he has no friends. No, I'm just joking.
No, but
I'm just being the devil's advocate.
the guy's ex has met these people and has been posted on social media. So it makes you wonder why you're being kept as a secret. And it's been 3 years.
It could
That's
be
not
that the guy had a very bad experience with his ex, right? So he introduced his ex to his friends. He
yeah, and
posted
they
about
didn't
her,
last or
and then they
something.
didn't. I mean, it's an ex, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, he was traumatized, or he didn't want to go through that again with having to. Oh, I'm gonna introduce you to my friends, and I have to post about you again. And then what if we don't end up together?
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna delete you now on social media? Am I gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell my friends again? Oh, forget that girl. So I think for some reason it's a burden for him to do those things, which I think is legitimate in a sense that
Mm-hmm. Okay.
that's his personal decision.
Preference
Yeah,
and yeah.
he doesn't want to share anymore because he was hurt in the past. He doesn't want to introduce you to his friends because um he doesn't want to give his friends the impression that he's just going through different girls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're serious for 3 years.
I just feel like 3 years is a long time
To not meet
to
anyone
not
and
meet
to not have any
anyone.
posts about them.
Yeah. Actually, not so much about the posts because I understand that some people don't want to share that part of their lives on social media. I get that. And one could argue, "Oh, why'd he do it for the ex?" Maybe he did learn a lesson with that ex and he doesn't want to post about it on social media. That's fine. But 3 years without introducing someone to your friends, like what do you even tell your friends? Be like, "Oh, are you seeing anyone?" No. Like what is that? What I mean, we're assuming that that's what he says. Maybe he says he's seeing someone, but he's not ready to make his friends meet this girl. But still, I don't feel like I feel uneasy. I think OP feelings and concerns are valid. Like it's you're not overthinking this. There is something to be curious about in this situation.
Yeah. Um, I I can't really speak on that because in my experience, I never had that. I didn't feel that you were hiding me from anyone.
Shake hands on that
Thank
again.
you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're shaking hands again. But I think I understand because I've had friends who didn't want to introduce their girlfriends to our group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a personal decision. We didn't pressure him or anything. I mean, I don't know why somebody would not want to do that. I think it's easy to just jump into conclusions that he has a problem. There's something wrong with him, versus trying to understand the whole story. Um, in this case, the advice is really just to go up to your boyfriend
And
or
just ask,
and ask,
like, what's up?
yeah, why are you not doing this? Not and don't I don't think they should come from a place of why are you not doing this. It should just be more of a, hey, I just wanted to ask, why is this not so?
Yeah, not so much that you're like, ask it as a genuine question
Because yun pala,
because
I
you're
mean, like,
actually curious.
yeah, like eventually, I mean, not eventually. I mean, what if the guy is hiding from his friends because he owes them money, and he doesn't want to post
Oh
that he
my
has a
god,
girlfriend
that's not
because no, I'm
okay.
saying, I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, you
there are
could come out, yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you're saying there are situations where he's cheating, there could also be situations where this dude is actually hiding from, and like someone, he's hiding from authorities, hiding from his friends who he owes money to. There's so many reasons why to not be like that in public. I mean, I went with the easiest, which is he didn't have a good experience with his past ex, which is, I think that's a valid one. Um, but it's really just communicate with your boyfriend because he might have his reasons, and it's really up to you if those reasons are valid for yourself. Because, for example, he's being hunted by authorities. Maybe you don't want to date a criminal, right? Or maybe he, like I said, has a bad experience about posting or sharing with his friends, or his friends um, say bad things about his exes, and he doesn't want you to end up in that same kind of light. Then that might be his reason. Or he might just say, I don't want to. And it's really up to you if you want to be dating someone whose answer is that? I just don't want to introduce you to my friends. I just don't want to post about you. If you're comfortable in being in that kind of relationship, power to you. But if you're not, then it's your decision. And I guess it becomes a part of your non-negotiables in your head, right?
Mm. Okay. I think bottom line for me, I think what OP should do is just really just ask your boyfriend.
Yeah.
But ask in a way where you're not immediately accusing him with all of the other reasons you've thought about in your head of why he might not be posting.
Yeah.
Like, of course, no, but we don't want to assume the worst, right? I mean, this is a weird situation, but you want to give benefit of the doubt. At least me, that's the kind of person I am, for better, for worse, right?
But 3 years is a long time.
But 3
for
years
sure.
is a long time. So this question is due to be asked.
And it's only coming up now. If it was really a big problem to you, it would have shown. I mean, you would have brought it up years ago. Like,
Mm,
you know what I mean?
kind of.
Yeah. So that is our opinion.
That's our advice.
That's our advice.
Because this is the Relationship Advice PH subreddit.
Yeah. So talk to him. Ask if he's hiding anything, hiding from people. Just, different vibe kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if your only problem with this person has been this, I mean, this person has been a good partner with you, is respectful, all these other things, and this is the only thing that you are not seeing eye to eye with, it could also reflect on you, right? Because these are important things to you, yes, but then in the grand scheme of things, are they the most important thing? Yeah, I mean, the social media part, yes, but then the introducing to friends, maybe that's the more weird part in
Yeah.
this whole
Yeah,
post.
yeah, exactly.
Because people don't have to post about their significant others. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was our long-winded way of
yeah. Sorry, I
saying
mean we kept saying the
ask.
same thing,
I
but
know.
that's
Because we feel so strongly about that answer.
Yeah.
Like, just ask.
mhm.
Anyway,
I think a lot of the problems on relationship
Subreddit.
advice
Oh.
PH are just communication problems. Just ask, just talk
but
to
that's the
them.
thing. I think it's always easier said than done. Of course, it's easier for us to say that because it's someone else's relationship, and we're not the ones going through
yeah,
that.
I don't care about your relationship.
Oh my gosh, no!
I mean,
Like,
I really don't.
it's so much easier from like a third
Person.
person point
Party,
of view
yeah.
to tell them what's wrong. But when you're in it and you're living it, I think it's a lot more difficult. But that's true with a lot of things. So anyway,
Okay.
are we ready for the next
Next
one?
post. Okay.
Do you want to read this
Sure.
one? Okay.
So our next post is from the original subreddit we visited. Sorry. From our last Reddit episode. This is from the Ako Ba Yung Gago subreddit. And so this one is, Ako ba yung gago for ghosting my friends after they left me out sa gala? So in English, that means, am I the asshole for ghosting my friends because they didn't invite me to one of their hangouts or outings, whatever. So I, female 21 years old, ghosted my friends after nila akong i-left out. This was nung December pa. We planned na mag-samgyup nung December 26. And I was shocked when someone sent sa GC yung pics nila na nagsasamgyup sila nung December 25. So they went a day earlier than what they scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
I was crying really hard during that time, so I put the GC on ignore messages muna. Nag-set sila ng gala uli. Swimming naman, and no one even bothered to include me. Ayun na yung second time. Because yung unang pag-left out nila sa akin nung nag-samgyup sila right after akong umuwi. It took me 3 months before ako nag-decide mag-leave sa GC, and I blocked everyone without saying anything. Here's what happened. Yung best friend ko is part rin nung friend group na yon, and he contacted me to say na nagsasorry siya kasi na-left out ako, pero mali daw ako kasi I ghosted them, and di man lang ako nakipag-communicate since madali lang daw resolbahin yun. He told me na if I was online during that time, isasama naman daw ako eh. Ang point ko, 26 ang gala pero bakit 25 na tuloy? Biglaan lang daw kasi pero sa totoo lang nainis ako kasi bakit ako lang hindi included. Sobrang nasaktan ako sa nangyari kasi they were my friends for 10 plus years. I can't bring myself to talk to them kasi galit talaga ako. Even now, nagda-doubt pa rin ako sa decision ko. Di ako confident sa choice ko. Although I have new friends na, di ko maiwasan maisip kung ano mangyayari if iba pinili ko. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
should we translate that?
Yeah, can you do the?
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
kind of out of breath because I think I read it pretty fast. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, anyway, so basically, our OP is telling the story and asking if she is the asshole for ghosting her friends after they left her out of two hangouts. So she's in a group chat with her friends, and they've been friends for more than 10 years, right? And in December, she and her friends, I guess, planned to get Korean barbecue on December 26th. And then leading up to that date, she was shocked to find pictures of that same group of friends having Korean barbecue without her on December 25. So instead of, I guess, telling them that she was upset, she just ghosted, or I guess she ignored people. She ignored the group chat for a while because she was pretty upset about what happened. Um, and then the group once again set another hangout. This time they were going to go swimming, but they didn't invite her at all, right? So after 3 months, after 3 months of these two events, she decided to leave the group chat. Then, when she left that group chat, her best friend, who is also part of that friend group, tells her that, oh, this friend says sorry because OP felt left out. But it's OP's fault because OP ghosted them. And OP did not communicate with them, which would have been the fastest way to resolve the problem. So, this is a long winded way of saying that OP is now reevaluating
They should have
should she have ghosted them in the
if they
first
should have
place?
done anything else aside.
Yeah.
I mean, other than
No, I
ghost and
think
block her
she's
friends.
so aside from asking if she's the asshole, she's also asking if should I have done that in the first place? Like should I have ghosted them? I mean, yeah, she's like although I have new friends, I can't help but think what would have happened if I did something different.
You have a
Yeah.
take? Do you have a take on it?
First of all, let me just say it's hard to translate
In real time, yeah. I'm
in
sorry,
in real time.
but you did a good job, dude. You did a good job.
My gosh, that was hard. Like my brain was working overtime. Whew. Okay.
Do you have a take on this yet?
Um, I don't think you're the asshole. Um, I wish that it's I think it would have been best if you said something about it instead of just ghosting them. Uh, Again, I think that's easier said than done because if you're hurt and you're a non-confrontational person, your instinct is to just walk away from the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what she did. But I don't think that makes you the asshole. I think that was not the best way to solve it, but it's also not your fault that you felt hurt. Like that was a I think that's a valid reason to get hurt. And also, they set another hangout and didn't include you. Like even if you were inactive, I mean, based on my experiences, right? Based on the big group chats I'm in with several of my friends, if there was one person who was inactive, they're still included in all of the events and hangouts that we plan. And if somebody wasn't replying for a long time, one of us would reach out to that person individually to check in on how they were doing and seeing if they were okay with
Because
the
you're a
plan.
good friend, that's why you would do that.
Yeah. So,
It took them 3 months to realize. Oh dang.
oh, she left. Oh, dip. It's and you said that your best friend is in this group chat. Like, how could that person be your best friend if your best friend said sorry that you felt that way, but that it's your fault for ghosting them? Like, I don't think that's very best friend behavior.
Yeah, you're right. I
Uh,
don't think.
What about you? Like, what do you think?
How can I mean, I've been part of a group of friends that cut someone out, sort of that way.
Mm.
I've also been on the receiving end. Like, not necessarily they cut me out, just they no longer invited me to things and stuff like that. So I can get both sides. Um, I feel that in the spur of the moment, you will do things that you later might regret. I think this person was thinking that if they regret it, but then your friends were not acting like friends in the first place in the start of this scenario. I mean, you had a plan, they did something else, they didn't tell you, and then they did something else after that, and they still didn't tell you. So it's like, do we want to be friends or not? Real, right? Um, but it happens. I mean, as a as a person who also has friends, as a
That's
person who,
good. That's good.
as a person with friends, you can't. I even now I can't go. I mean, obviously, right now I can't. But even back when I used to live with my friends,
You lived with your
in the same
friends.
country as my
There
friends,
you
I
go.
couldn't go to every
Hang out
hangout.
and plan. Yeah.
And obviously, it goes both ways. I was probably not invited to every hangout, which is fine. I mean, sometimes you just want to see certain people, and I think you can respect that. But if you were really good friends, then it would take more than just 3 months. It would take less more. It would take less than 3 months for you to figure out that you were already hurt by what they did. So it's really up to them what kind of tolerance they have for what kind of friends they want in their lives. I mean, if you have a tolerance for friends who do that kind of things, then yeah, sure, you can forgive them. If you have a tolerance for your best friend who did that to you, sure. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, um, to say that leave them out already. I mean, forgiveness is a real thing, right? I don't know. I sound like I'm just spitting words out. I
Well,
mean,
that's what a podcast is.
no, yeah. So it's up to you if you want to forgive them. Personally, if that happened to me, I do the same thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean you do? Like you'd also
I
doubt,
mean,
or
I
you
I
would
wouldn't
leave?
doubt my decision. I should be like, all right,
That's it.
F
Like
it, I'm
okay.
out, I'm outie. Because I mean, if people hang out, and they're comfortable without you, and you still want to be friends, then there's no relationship anymore. It's no longer two sided. Relationships should come both ways.
Mm,
So
okay.
you made time for them. They found a way not to make, like, they went out of their way to make
A plan without
a plan
you.
without you.
Yeah.
Then you know what? F him. Leave him in the. Let him go.
I think what makes this particularly hard for OP is that
They were
she
friends for 10 years, or
yeah, they've been friends for more than 10 years. And I think when you've been friends for people for that long, they feel like they've been in your life. Like you feel like they're permanently in your life because they've already been there for that long. But I also feel like, at least for me, there are some people that are difficult to, I guess, let go of. Like, that they'll always be part of your life, or you feel like they'll always be part of your life just because they've been there for so long already. But then you outgrow people,
yes,
and
you
people
do.
outgrow you,
Yeah, and that's fine.
and you realize that some people aren't as good of a friend as you thought they once were. Which I feel like is what's happening in this situation with OP. Um, I understand why OP would start to doubt, or like, because you suddenly cut off like something that's been part of you for 10 years. But I also feel like if you feel happier without them, maybe not like celebrating and partying kind of happy, but there's like a weight
There's a
lifted off your,
peace.
there's a peace, there's a weight lifted off your shoulder. You're suddenly not worrying about, oh, what if they don't invite me again? I feel like that is already a benefit to you not being that good of like, that's already a benefit of being away from them.
Yeah.
And I would take that.
Yeah, if their absence brings you peace,
Then there's your answer.
there you go.
Then you don't regret it. So I hope that you feel better, and don't worry, you are not the asshole, or hindi kayong gago.
I think that tends to happen with childhood friends
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, because you've seen this person grow up from when you were kids and then now you're adults. So, um, not to say that I have a bad relationship with my childhood friends. I think they're the closest people I have. But then there were a lot of times where, especially in my friend group in high school, where some people would go out, and then they'd see on the chat and they'd be like, "Oh, thanks for the invite." And then,
Like sarcastic.
yeah, I mean,
Like, yeah.
I probably said that not sarcastically before, because
Ooh.
it feels bad to be left out. But then at the end of the day, because now as an adult, you know that sometimes things just happen spontaneously. Sometimes they didn't mean to cut you out. These people definitely meant to cut this person
Yeah.
out.
And I don't know. They didn't specify, but I think in comparing your situation with OP's, This felt like if there were 10 of them, she was the only one who was not there. Versus yours, if there were 10 of them,
3 showed or 4 showed up. No,
yeah,
which is
then
fine.
maybe you weren't the only one left
But
out.
then, like I said, we did have to cut someone out from our group of friends, and it was not really. I mean, obviously we could have handled it better, but then that person had it coming. Um,
I think that's subjective.
for us, yeah. I mean, this is all subjective.
That's true.
Relationships are subjective. There's no right way, wrong way of dealing with it.
There is the
Um,
best way.
the only way you have is the way we're shaking hands for the audio listener. What I'm saying is, not that, well, they had it coming. It was just more of, like you said, you outgrow some people,
Mm.
and it felt like we outgrew that person.
As a group, like you all collectively outgrew this person.
We're very. I mean, at least my high school friends. We're not a cliquish group of people. Or I mean, we're very easy to
Get along.
get
with?
along with. I mean,
Mm.
we're not snobby. We wouldn't not talk to some. We would let everyone be part of the group if we could. Something like, how can I say that?
Inclusive.
We're a very
There
inclusive
you
group.
go.
So for us to be like, I don't want to be friends with this person anymore. You know that we already had our fair share of problems. So it was just time to go. You okay?
Sorry for the audio listener. You were listening to me drinking coffee.
Okay, so that's about it. I mean, that's for this post.
This particular
Yeah.
post.
So you're not the gago. Hindi ka gago. Sorry. So
Hindi ka ang
sobrang
asshole.
parang konya naman ng
Dude, all this one, when you were reading it, I was
I didn't write that.
I know,
They
but when
they
you
was
were
reading
reading it, I was like, okay, code switching.
it. I know, I
Okay.
know. But
Like you
yeah,
could have said this sentence in full English or in full Tagalog.
you're not the asshole. Your friends made it their thing to not include you, so you can make it your thing to not include them in your life,
Nice.
which is fine. That's your personal decision. There's no right or wrong. If you miss them as friends, just remember the bad things they did to you. No, I mean it's nice to think of old friends or people like that with rose colored glasses. But you have to go and boil down. You have to go down to the fact that we're we are not in those rose colored days anymore because you did this.
Mm.
I mean, it's nice to just look at the nice things or the nice times you had, but you gotta look. Oh, okay, we're no longer in that period of time because you cut me out.
Because this happened and this
Yeah.
was real.
So that's it. That's really it.
Okay, that's fair.
Cut them loose.
Snip, snip. Okay.
Give me the loot.
Okay.
All right, for our last post.
For our last post, and I know that this is only our third post, right? But I feel like this is a very interesting post that might warrant a lot of opinions. Honestly, I don't know if I even have an opinion on this.
Okay.
So I can read it.
I'm helping. I'm just holding it.
Oh,
up
you're
for
helping
you.
me read
Yeah.
it? Okay, you want to read it together? No, don't do that. This is from the subreddit. Subreddit.
Ano sub-edit? Ano yun? Okay.
Subreddit.
Yeah, from the sub-edit.
Adulting PH. If you're earning at least 100,000 net monthly in the Philippines, gugustuhin mo pa rin ba mag-work abroad if may opportunity? Let's say you're in your late 20s, you're single, child-free, zero debt, and not a breadwinner.
Ding, ding, ding.
So, just to make sure everyone understood that question, I'm just going to quickly translate that in English. If you're earning at least 100,000, what does net mean?
After tax.
Okay, if you're I don't know what any of these things mean.
Net. Yeah, that's spider. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, SpongeBob. Okay. If you're earning
What?
he has a net for his jellyfish. Anyway, if you're earning at least 100,000 after taxes monthly in the Philippines, would you still want to work abroad if you had the opportunity? And in this specific scenario, you're in your late 20s, you're single, you don't have kids, you have no debt, and you're not the family breadwinner. Do you have, just off the top of your head, an answer?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your answer? Off the top of your head. Don't read the comments.
No, like if I was making 100K
A month.
a month net, would I still work abroad?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's if we're looking for a straight up answer, yeah. Because it didn't ask why. It's just yeah, straight up, yeah.
Okay.
How about you? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh no, copy strike.
Oh, I think, I mean, yes, but there's no rush for me. It's like, because I'm already there, there's a certain level of comfort already in the Philippines. And I can live a good life in the, if you were, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, it's a comfortable life already if you have this in the Philippines, right? It's very comfortable, and you you can go your whole life without considering going abroad to earn more, because this is already good for you. So, for me, there's no rush and there's no need to go abroad. It's more of, do you want the
So
hassle
your
of
answer to this is
experiencing it?
yes, but not like no rush.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
mean,
yeah, but
not right now.
yeah, but I don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Mine would be yes.
Like, immediately, yes, like, yeah. If somebody contact you from another country and said, "We have a job for you," you're dropping everything to go.
I did it.
This is how much you made? Oh,
No. Oh my god.
also, you were not in your late 20s.
I mean I'm just starting my late 20s.
He's crying again. Don't mind it.
Grab him again. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I think I think our opinion on this is skewed now because we
Yeah.
have worked here already, and
I'm trying to imagine, like, my mindset from 2021. I was a year into work. I was not making this much, but I'm trying to put myself in 2021 Gabe's shoes, right? Say that I wasn't dating you, or I'm dating you, but you weren't leaving. Okay, let's say that's a scenario. And I was making this much every month. I wouldn't feel the need to go abroad. I wouldn't.
okay,
That's my answer.
okay. And I'm saying if I made that much and same scenario, we were dating, I wasn't gonna leave yet, I would still leave.
Okay.
I think looking at this amount right now, it's nice, right?
Yeah.
This time of your life, especially with the scenario that they gave, you
Yeah.
know,
Like, no kids,
no
no debt.
kids, single. I mean, not breadwinner, so
Mm-hmm. Like, you
nobody's
yeah.
depending on you. Then yeah, a lot of people would say yes, and that's fair because they haven't had the experience of living abroad, or they are very comfortable living back in the Philippines, which by all means, more power to you.
Thank you.
But it depends on what you want. I mean, for me, my decision affecting my answer there is more on the long term aspect of
Mm.
things. I mean, sure, with this kind of salary, I'm assuming you have a good career. It's the best is yet to come in terms of how much you're gonna
Yeah,
get
like,
paid,
it's gonna grow.
but you're still in a third world country. So in terms of things that you're gonna expect, you still have to work around those things. For example, you're gonna go to work, you're still gonna be in the same traffic with everyone else. If there's some sort of healthcare emergency, as we saw in the pandemic, you're still on the same boat as everyone there. You're gonna get these things late. Um, just there are different things that
Like, the quality of life.
yeah, there are many things
generally.
that the money can help with. For example, you have access to better healthcare. Yeah, you have access to a car, but then um all boils down to, is that the kind of life you want to live? And if yes, then go for it. But for me, I didn't want to deal with certain things living in the Philippines anymore like that. Um I feel that moving to another country really broadened my expectation for myself in a sense that I no longer had to live by a kind
Certain
of
rules
certain
and
rules
a
or
pattern.
certain patterns,
Yeah.
or I had to measure myself up against other people who were doing the same things I
Mm-hmm.
was, or doing the same thing around the same things I was. Yeah, because there's a certain freedom that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's a very privileged thing to say with that subject, but I'm assuming with this question you're asking privileged people anyway, right? Because they're not breadwinners. They're making 100,000 pesos a month. You know, they're single. They don't have kids, and in basically that's a lot of people we know, right? That's their scenario, and I hope they're making that much because that's gonna really help them. But then down the line, you still end up in a place where there are a lot of limitations to how far you can make it based on yourself. I think you and I were able to make it somewhat back home because of things like our parents were um, well off enough to send us to good schools, right? We had that advantage for us. What happens to other people who don't have that advantage, right? I mean, um, I'm not trying to be a bleeding heart in a sense. How about other people? It's more of I'm accepting that I only got ahead because I was very privileged, and that's how it's gonna be living in the Philippines. To move ahead, you're gonna have to keep being in a position that you have to be connected to the right people. You have to be in the right place at the right time. Here, it is the same, but you can really see the fruit of your labor um more, or like your hard work goes farther here than there. Not to say that people here work harder. It's just more of if you if you really work hard for it, even if you don't know the correct people, or you don't go to the best schools or whatever, you can still make it big here. Versus back home, um, even if you have the drive to do things, if you're not that kind of person, you don't belong to ABC class, you didn't go to the best universities, it's gonna be harder for you. And that's just the reality. I mean, there are some people who don't have to go to the best schools who made this kind of money. But if you ask those kinds of people, they're gonna want to leave too. I'm assuming, not all of them, but that's that's how I think, or I'm how I see the question. I don't know. I went on a monologue. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm so sorry because
Nothing
you
did nothing make
lost
sense.
me.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
No, it was more like I
Nothing
know
makes sense
I
anymore.
was listening the whole time, right? And then
Sorry.
suddenly I was like, wait, what's he talking about? I
Okay.
mean,
We're gonna cut this then.
no. Okay, so again, if you're making this much, I am on the my answer is, would you still work abroad given the opportunity? I mean, it's more of a sure, why not a yes, definitely. That's where I stand. Like a sure, why not? To try it, to experience it, but not necessarily because it's like a necessity. Because I think that this is not like you were already doing a lot better than a lot of other people. That's what I think. And yeah, like just to reiterate, I think if this was my situation and if I was dating you and you were not going to leave, this I would have I would not have a lot of complaints about this scenario.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it's yes. I would still
Yes,
leave.
you would go.
Yeah.
Like a yes, definitely right now.
Yeah.
Like a right now.
Mhm.
Like you would actively seek opportunities to leave.
Mhm.
Okay, but what if the president was different? Ooh.
She, as much as she is very good, couldn't change the Philippines in 6 years.
6 years. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I'd be more proud to be Filipino for sure, but
Yeah. It would have been harder to leave, but you still would have wanted to leave.
not necessarily hard. It would be more of, oh, you know what?
Good to know that
Good things
this is what's
good things
happening.
coming ahead.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
um
It's not enough to convince you to stay, you think?
no, because I think we're biased, or not, we're biased in the sense we already know how it is to work here, and we know what happens if you work hard and you move up here, what kind of life is available to you. That life is not available
That's
back
true.
home.
I agree.
I mean, obviously it comes with its own hardships. We don't have
There are a lot of
we
things.
don't have access to different things such as um what's something that we look for granted, like
Healthcare. Wait, no.
I mean, housekeeping, or people to help around the house,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, right? To people to look after your kids when you're gone
Yeah.
from when you're off at work or stuff like that. Um, those are challenges people face here. But I think
Overall.
overall, the quality of life here is still better. Um, down the line. So that's why I would say yes. I think the faster I can build a life here or abroad would benefit me, because you're gonna obviously, if you just move, you're gonna have a hard time trying to get your feet in the, just, to get your footing,
Yeah, just to like,
try to get your feet
yeah, like just root
in place. Yeah,
yourself.
root yourself.
Yeah,
And obviously everything's gonna feel foreign, but eventually it's
literally.
going to get better in the net. I don't know.
If that,
I don't know if it's gonna get better for people back in the Philippines. Yes, you're making this money now. Yes, everything's good for you, good for you. But then down the line, will things improve in terms of the quality of life you have? Yeah, it could. But then, are you taking that chance there versus other places where they have a better track record for um, people who are, I guess, hungrier for that kind of life? Or I feel like with this setup, you could settle.
yeah,
A lot of people would settle, which is hard because you're only in your 20s. And if you're
it's very
settling,
early.
yeah, it's very early
Well,
for you to be.
I don't know if settle is the right word, because this, like, what they're earning a month at this age, like, that means that, when they reach their career peak, let's say mid 40s, when you climb up that ladder, then you're going to be making a lot more, right? So I do not, I would not look down on anyone who would choose this.
Oh no, you're not. I'm
Like,
not looking down on anyone. I'm
no,
just saying.
I
Yeah.
feel like I would also, I understand where they're coming from. I think in another life, if this were what was given to me, if this was on my platter, I would take this. Because if I wasn't dating Poch, honestly, there was no concrete reason to be here. Like, there like there was no compelling enough reason, I think. Like, if all of my family, I mean all of my family, if if I had this and all my family in one place, that's okay na. That's fine with me. Um I understand where Podge is coming from, like what you say, that, and it's true. I've seen it. I see it here that, you know, yes, you work hard in the Philippines, and yes, you work hard here, but the fruit of your labor here, um, it takes you farther. Like, I've seen it, and a part of me feels sad that that's not what is in the Philippines. That, I mean, it's true. Like, I feel sad sometimes that it's like, wow, somebody doing the same job here
Yeah,
can get their own house.
I think for me the opportunities here are just so much more versus there, that it's almost a no-brainer. Almost. I mean, yeah, it's very comfortable. If that's the kind of life, why not, right? But then I know people. I've worked with people who had blue collar jobs.
What's
Uh,
blue collar
I
again?
mean,
Like a desk job.
no, that's white collar.
Ah.
Blue collars, like, they're more on their hand. It's more
Oh,
manual
manual
labor. Yeah.
labor. Okay.
So this person, they were a waiter. They were not even a waiter. They were a busboy
Mm.
in a restaurant.
Are we talking here or in the
Yeah,
Philippines?
here.
US. Okay.
Busboy, whatever. He found a job that was a white collar job. 6 years later, he bought a house.
Yeah.
Where can you see that kind of scenario? Back home, a busboy in 6 years after finding
Yeah.
a white collar job buys a house.
Yeah.
So it's just, not to say that we're working blue collar jobs. I think we're very fortunate to work already in like an office kind of scenario. But yun nga, I mean, sorry, code switch. I mean, that's what I mean, in a sense that um being here gives you more opportunities.
It gives you more, like, you get more out of what you put into it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's true. I agree. And I also still think that if you wanted to stay in the Philippines, this is like,
It really all
if
boils
you
down
had
to your
this,
preference.
yeah, if you had this situation and no, if you didn't have a compelling reason to go abroad, like,
Then you don't know.
then I, I I do it just to experience it. I wouldn't commit myself to actually moving.
I think there's no better or worse option in this question. It's really a
Yeah,
matter of
that's true.
preference. Uh, yeah, because there are really some people who want to stay home, and that's good. I mean, stay back in the Philippines, and that's good because they want to build a life there, and that's yeah,
Perfectly fine.
that's perfectly fine. But then, just for me personally, just because I've already experienced working here, I want to make it here. I feel like I want to make it here more than I would want to
Make
go
it
back
in.
home and then make it there. Because I feel that if we both went home right now, I'm sure we would be able to find jobs that can pay us around that much. But in terms of the quality of life, it will change again, or you'll see the difference, and then you will be able to decide. But that's just how that's my take on that.
Okay. Okay. This is actually a very interesting. What do you call this? A post? I'm not on
Yeah,
Reddit.
it's a discussion post.
Yeah, it's a very interesting discussion. We will link it
Yeah.
somewhere.
If you do you want to read a comment?
Yeah, you know what? Okay, choose a random one. Just scroll, close your eyes, and choose a random one.
Here this one. If wala ka naman need supportahan, I'd rather stay here na lang sa Pinas than move
Sa
sa province
province.
if remote yung work na may income na 100,000. Yung quality of life din naman kasi sa Pinas depende sa salary mo. Goods are expensive pero services are still cheap. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, sabi nga ng iba, you only live once. So dun ka sa komportable ako lalo na wala naman akong need paggastusan maliban sa sarili ko. Yeah. I mean, that's a perfectly that's a good answer. For the experience, maybe yes. Pero kung ako tatanungin, that will already give you a comfortable life here in the Philippines. So sa Philippines na lang ako.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for comfort, it's definitely a
What
stay
you know,
thing.
yeah.
If it's if your vibe is more like F it, let's experience the world,
There's
then
one.
I think good to go.
Kung Middle East ka, please stay ka na lang sa Philippines. Nasa Middle East ako at sising-sisi ako. And kung yung country na pupuntahan mo is stable at dodoblehin yung 100,000 mo monthly, labas pa yung pambayad mo ng house at may green card, then go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, depends where the opportunity is abroad.
Yeah. Na sa province na lang, build ako mini hacienda at mag-homestead, tanim ng mga gulay at mag-alaga ng mga hayop for self-sustainability, tapos pakabitan ko ng Starlink for hyper. What are you, like one of those
That's pretty cool.
like not anti those the ones preparing for doomsday, like a doomsday
A
prepper.
prepper.
Okay, let's look at another one. Depends saan sa abroad. Like if Middle East, no thank you since babae ako. Well, yeah.
Okay, fair.
No. My husband and I dink. Oh,
Double income, no kids, late 20s.
earn about 150K net each and we live super comfortably here. Travel locally on a monthly basis. Good for you. Good for you.
Here, read this paragraph.
My husband, on the other hand, tries to convince me to migrate before we turn 30. His reasoning is that usual Philippine politics is garbage, healthcare, traffic, and whatnot. The thing is, at this point, I don't really care that much about those things. We also travel abroad frequently, and I think that there are stupid people, shitty government, shitty anything, anywhere. It's just that when you have money relative to the cost of living, you have the privilege to look the other way because you have options. Also, most of my aunties in their late 60s who migrated to Canada and US are still unable to retire in their countries because of finances. Yeah, I think
I get that. I understand that. That makes sense to me.
I think it boils down to if you're struggling more, yes, you would move out.
Yeah.
If you're not struggling, then no.
Then you're not even thinking about
Yeah.
it.
So it's really that way.
I like that last paragraph you read. Like the way like the girl commenting was saying her husband, was pointing out all the reasons to move out, which are all fair reasons, like the government, the healthcare, the traffic, all those things. But then she also made a good point. Not there's no perfect place to be. Like it's not perfect. Like moving here, there are new things to complain about. I mean, in the Philippines, I complain about XYZ. Here, I'm complaining about ABC. So it depends on what you're looking for in your life, really. If you're fine with, your XYZ problems in Manila and you're making that much, then you stay.
Yeah.
If you want, if you're curious about ABC, and things, if you're just curious because you have the means to go, honestly, if you're making that much, you have the means to explore and see other things, right? If you're curious, then go. See what it's like. Experience it. If you don't like it, go back. I mean, I think that's pretty much it, right? Like, it's, you choose what you want your problem to be.
Mm-hmm. You basically choose the life you choose. Will dictate what problems you have.
Yeah, it's not to say that just because you chose to move doesn't mean you have no
There is
problems.
no life with zero problems.
Yeah.
People here have problems too, and people back home have problems. It's
Yeah.
up to you what kind of problems you want to live with.
Choose your difficult.
If you want to live in a country where the best haircut is only $10, stay in Manila, man.
Yeah, dude.
Because haircuts here ain't cheap.
Yeah, if you want to get mani pedis for like what? How much? I don't know. Less than.
Less than $10, you could get
Yeah,
a
that's
mani.
true.
Those kinds. If that's the kind of life you want and stuff, services
Stay.
cheap. Yeah, stay, dude. Stay. Do not come here.
Do
Do not
not-
come.
Do not.
Do not come. Pause. But
No.
if you want to, if you want to be able to, I don't know, get a house quicker or
Mm.
have the latest kind of innovations in terms of, I don't know.
Oh, get vaccines earlier.
I mean that kind of
That's
healthcare,
that kind of stuff.
or it depends on what matters to you most. I mean, I guess the more money you have there, the less problems
Yes.
you have, obviously. So why would I want to be not here?
Yeah.
Versus if you are having a hard time there, why would I want to be here?
Yeah.
And I think Gabe and I come from both parties, which is why Gabe is more on the side of I didn't have to leave Manila
And
versus
I'm very lucky.
versus
to be
me,
in
which
that
is more of
situation.
what I gotta go. Just cause I mean I'm not I didn't have as much as you did when
Mm,
back home compared.
You had a better job than I did.
No. I'm saying the situation. I don't have a house anymore.
Wait, yeah, but that's different. It's not because the government got your house. It's because you
They
decided.
did? No, I'm
It's
sure.
because you decided not to have
Yeah.
that house anymore. So it's different. You also cannot say that, I think. Like, it's not a fair comparison to say that because those things were a product of decisions you made with your family in your effort and to fulfill the objective of eventually moving here. So this was already in your cards, right? Versus
Yeah,
me, where
that's
it was
fair.
like this was a jump. This was a, if I wanted to go logistically, I had to figure out how to do it. And I'm not saying that mine was more difficult than yours. I'm not saying that. Each decision had its own challenges, as with everything. I think that's the lesson today. The lesson is everything is difficult.
Yeah.
Oh my god, DDLD. Like literally. Like
Yeah, I think
everything
from all
is
the posts, just to
difficult.
wrap up all the posts that we read or have talked about
Mhm.
in today's episode, it really boils down to the person in terms of what they want to deal with. I think uh, if you made it this far in life in terms of being alive at 20 something years age, you already know that there are problems left, right, and center. It really just depends on what problems you want to be handling, or what you can handle, or what you
Or what you want to be bothered by.
yeah. Are you
Honestly.
bothered by your boyfriend not introducing you to his friends? Are you bothered by your friends not inviting you out? Are you bothered that your income is not as high as if you worked abroad? Then those are like things that you have to, I guess, have a introspective talk with yourself. And if it's a problem with other people, I think the last post we did isn't really a problem with other people.
Yeah.
It was really a
Like it's
communication
not a
issue.
communication problem.
Um, it's not, but all three are preference problems. It's really all about how you prefer to handle things.
Like, would you rather take this or that?
Yeah, would you rather
Yeah.
have friends who are shitty? Would you rather have a boyfriend who is running from authorities? Would you rather make 100,000 pesos or double it or triple it, because that's what's possible, not there. So that's basically like the decision. It's life is just full of decisions, and now that you're an adult, you must decide how you
Wow.
want to
This
do
was
those things.
like our conclusion was a lot more introspective and deeper than I
Yeah,
thought. I
I'm
thought
gonna go.
really
I'm
we
gonna
were
go
just
cry in the shower
I
after
thought
this.
really we were just going to be laughing at Reddit and be like, "Oh, this is interesting." But
Maybe the
no,
next Reddit will be funnier.
maybe in a few months.
Yeah, we will. Oh, layo naman ng months.
Well, we don't do Reddit one after the
Oh,
other.
that's true.
So,
Okay,
you know what
but
I mean.
hopefully you learned something in this episode, or we brought something of value.
I hope that
You can also have this discussion with your own friends or something. I don't know.
as they say, sound off in the comments. Am I right?
Sound it off. Make that sound.
Make that sound.
Let it off.
No, but I hope that I feel like we're not honestly, Poch and I are just talking to each other, right? And then we include you, listener.
It's literally just
watcher.
a camera, and then
Yeah, like
Gabe and I
we're
have
just talking to
discussions.
you and talking about what we feel. But I would hope that the things that we talked about made you
Think too.
think because it made us think.
Ah, made you think.
Yeah, so I think I would want to know what our friends think about, especially the last question.
Dude, they're gonna agree with you. But yeah, sure. Sound it off.
I have my own opinion, but I understand and I could agree with you.
Okay.
It depends on the person.
So let us know in the doobly doo.
Make a sound in the comments.
Please don't just comment phonetic words like or
No, you could. I don't mind.
yeah. But anyway, this was Poch.
And this was Gabe.
Thank you for listening to the show. We will see you in the next episode. Please share the episode again. Yeah, share.
And
Sharing is
like
caring. And if
and
you care about
subscribe.
us, you will be sharing about us.
Wow.
Galing. Audio listener, we just
We just appeared.
we just-
I mean,
yeah, we just got here.
no. What's that in English? High fived.
What's appear in English?
Yeah, I want appear. That's what I meant. Appear.
Disappear.
Disappear. 1/2, 1/4, 1/4, 1/2. Disappear. Appear. Do you not know that?
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.